All right. Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that I know a lot of you are really into. I mean, who doesn't love a good mystery,
Ah,
right?
yeah, for sure. Mysteries have always kind of fascinated me. They make you realize just how much we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And today, we're going to be diving into 10 intriguing unsolved mysteries. And let me tell you, this book does not
Ah,
disappoint. We've got everything from ancient manuscripts to strange disappearances and even a dancing plague.
a dancing plague. That sounds intriguing.
Right. It's like something straight out of a movie.
Okay.
But before we get to that one, let's start with a real head-scratcher, the Voynich manuscript.
Yeah.
So imagine this. You stumble upon a book from the 15th century, looks ancient, feels ancient, smells ancient. You open it up, excited to see what's inside, and bam! You can't understand a single word.
It's written in a completely unknown script, isn't it?
You got it.
Oh.
And to make things even weirder, the illustrations are like nothing you've ever seen before. Plants that don't exist, strange diagrams, you name it. It's like it was written by someone from another planet.
It really is. And the craziest part is that no one has been able to decipher it. Scholars, cryptographers, you name it, they've all tried and failed. It's like this book holds a secret that's just beyond our grasp.
That makes you wonder, right? What could be so important that it needed to be hidden in such an elaborate way?
Some people think it's a code, some think it's a lost language. There are even those who believe it's a hoax, some elaborate joke from centuries ago. But honestly, nobody knows for sure.
Talk about a mystery for the ages, huh? Okay, so from a mysterious book to a mysterious object, let's move on to the Antikythera mechanism. Now, have you ever heard of an ancient Greek computer?
Uh-huh. I can't say that I have.
Well, get this. The Antikythera mechanism is exactly that. It's this intricate device discovered in a shipwreck over a century ago. And guess what it could do? It could predict astronomical events with incredible accuracy, like eclipses, the movements of planets. It's mind-blowing.
It really does make you question what we think we know about ancient technology. I mean, to create something that sophisticated back then, it suggests that maybe, just maybe, our understanding of history is incomplete. Like we're missing pieces of the puzzle.
Like there was some advanced knowledge that was lost over time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy stuff, right?
Okay, so ready for something a little spookier.
Always up for a good spooky mystery. Lay it on me.
Let's talk about the Taos hum. This one hits close to home for some people, literally. It's this persistent, low-frequency hum that some people can hear. It's been described as a kind of droning sound, and it's driving people crazy.
And the thing is, they can't figure out what's causing it. Some think it's industrial noise, others blame it on electromagnetic fields, or even secret government experiments.
Right, and the theories just get wilder from there. But here's the thing that makes it extra creepy. Not everyone can hear it. It's like this invisible sound that only certain people are sensitive to. Makes you wonder if maybe it's all in their heads, right? Well, that's the problem with subjective experiences. They're difficult to study and even more difficult to prove. It's like trying to catch a ghost, you know?
You can't really measure or quantify it, so it makes it almost impossible to solve.
Mm.
Speaking of vanishing without a trace, let's move on to a mystery that's been haunting sailors for centuries, the Mary Celeste. Picture this. You're sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, and you come across a ship, just drifting aimlessly. You board it, and it's completely deserted.
No crew, no passengers, just an empty ship sailing on its own. Creepy.
Super creepy. But it gets even weirder. The ship's cargo's intact, there's food and supplies on board, personal belongings, everything seems to be in order, except for one thing. The people are gone. Just poof, vanish into thin air.
It's one of those mysteries that just begs for an explanation. Theories abound, of course. Piracy, mutiny, some kind of freak natural phenomenon. But none of them really fit all the facts. It's like the crew just stepped off the ship and into another dimension.
Okay, so from a ghost ship to a place that's become synonymous with strange disappearances. Let's talk about the infamous Bermuda Triangle. I'm sure you've heard the stories. Ships and planes entering this area in the Atlantic and never being seen again. Lost to the depths of the ocean, swallowed up by some unknown force.
Well, it certainly has a reputation, but if we look at the data, the Bermuda Triangle isn't actually statistically more dangerous than other heavily trafficked areas of the ocean. It's more a case of our fascination with the unknown, I think. We love a good mystery, and the idea of a place where things just vanish, well, that really captures the imagination.
It's like a real-life horror movie, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes reality can be even scarier than fiction.
Let's talk about the Dyatlov Pass incident. This one's a real chiller. In 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers went missing in the Ural Mountains in Russia.
Yeah, I've heard about this one. Their tent was found ripped open from the inside, and the bodies were scattered around the area, some with strange injuries. It's a really eerie case. Right, like what could have caused them to flee their tent in such a panic in the middle of the night? And the injuries? Some were partially dressed, others had broken bones and internal injuries. The official explanation was an unknown compelling force, which, let's be honest, doesn't really explain anything.
It's like something out of a horror movie, but it really happened. Some speculate it was an avalanche, others believe it was a military experiment gone wrong. There are even theories about paranormal activity, but the truth is, we may never know what really happened out there in the frozen wilderness.
Okay, so from the frozen wilderness to the vastness of space, let's shift gears and talk about the WOW signal. Back in 1977, astronomers using a radio telescope picked up a signal unlike anything they'd ever heard before. It was strong, it lasted for 72 seconds, and then it was gone, never to be heard again.
It's called the wow signal because, well, that's literally what the astronomer wrote on the printout when he saw it. Wow. And for good reason. It's considered one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for extraterrestrial life.
Think about it. A signal from space, strong and distinct, that we've never been able to replicate or explain fully. So it's like a cosmic hello, and then silence.
And it's that silence that's so haunting. It makes you wonder, what if there's someone out there trying to contact us and we just haven't been able to hear them since?
Okay, so from the mysteries of the universe to a mystery that's as bizarre as it is fascinating, let's talk about the dancing plague of 1518. This one sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale gone wrong. Imagine hundreds of people in the city of Strasbourg just dancing uncontrollably for days, weeks even.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? They just couldn't stop dancing. Some even danced themselves to death from exhaustion or heart attacks. It's a truly bizarre chapter in human history.
It really is. There are theories, of course, ranging from mass hysteria to some kind of religious frenzy. But there's also the possibility of ergot poisoning.
Ergot is a fungus that can grow on rye bread, and it has some pretty potent hallucinogenic effects. Could that explain the uncontrollable dancing?
It's definitely a possibility. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest explanation is the most likely, even if it seems strange at first.
But even if it was ergot poisoning, it still doesn't fully explain why it manifested as uncontrollable dancing. It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, that's for sure.
And speaking of enigmas, let's talk about a mystery that's captivated the imagination for centuries. The lost city of Atlantis. This legendary island nation, said to have been advanced in technology and culture, was supposedly swallowed by the sea thousands of years ago. Could it be real?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There's no concrete evidence to prove that Atlantis ever existed. Some believe it was a real city, others think it was a metaphor created by Plato to illustrate his philosophical ideas.
But even if it's just a myth, it speaks to our desire to believe in lost civilizations, in worlds beyond our own, and the possibility that there's more to history than we know.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll find evidence that proves Atlantis was more than just a story. After all, we're constantly making new discoveries that challenge what we thought we knew about the past.
And our final mystery takes us to the Nazca Lines. These massive geoglyphs carved into the desert floor in Peru are visible only from the air. They depict all sorts of things: animals, plants, geometric shapes. They're so large and intricate, it's hard to imagine how ancient people could have created them without modern technology.
Exactly, and that's what makes them so intriguing. What was their purpose? Some believe they were astronomical calendars, others think they were religious symbols or even messages to the gods. We may never know for sure, but they stand as a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of ancient cultures.
So there you have it, 10 unsolved mysteries that continue to baffle and intrigue us. From ancient manuscripts to strange disappearances to massive geoglyphs, these cases remind us that there's still so much we don't know about the world and our place in it. What do you think? Which mystery did you find the most fascinating?
You know what strikes me is how each of these mysteries, in its own way, challenges our understanding of reality. They force us to confront the limits of our knowledge and to embrace the unknown.
It's a reminder that there's always more to learn, more to explore, more to discover. And that's what makes life so exciting, isn't it? So until our next deep dive, keep those minds open and those imaginations running wild. You never know what mysteries you might uncover.